Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. But with that being said, let's just dive in. Let's talk about a few things. So first off, yes, I will be addressing Hbar's price action real quick, just because I feel like a lot of individuals, they think that I just make these videos to deliver hopium, but it's really not. Trust me, I understand how that can be perceived because I always am, I look at the positives about something instead of just like the negatives and dwell on those. But I have been kind of mixing in the negative and positive things together. So first off, obviously the negative thing in the room for Hbar is price action, but this is also for like a lot of altcoins right now. I mean, technically speaking, and I'm not trying to make a positive out of a negative, but if we go back a little bit in time, our high here is about like 50 cents. Okay, since 50 cents, we're sitting at around 20 some cents, almost like 50% down. But if we were looking at some other altcoins, right? If we're looking at like XRP and stuff at their current levels compared to like their all-time highs, or I shouldn't even say all-time highs, but they're like highs from 2021. These assets are down significantly. So we are actually not too bad. Of course, you guys can see it over here. I'll go to the price range data and really kind of show you this. So here you guys have it. It's like 64.49% overall. I meant more so like kind of just estimated like 50% to like 25%, if you will, or 25 cents. I mean, sorry. But honestly, when we were talking about the price action, I don't think that this is the lowest that we're going. In fact, yesterday I told you guys, and I mentioned these targets down here. For those individuals that do want to buy Hbar, I would wait for a test of possibly 19 cents down to about 16 cents. Of course, anything between those levels is a perfect opportunity. But I'm just giving you guys that heads up now because trust me, when I say this, I don't mean to be bearish, but honestly, when we are looking at the market structure of a lot of these altcoins, they do look bearish on the micro view. On the macro view, I'm still very bullish. I'm still holding altcoins. I have not sold a single Hbar. I could, prove that to you guys if you want me to, but, I haven't sold any of these major assets at all. I've just been kind of sitting on them, hodling them, and just waiting for the next major move. And, obviously the next major move on Hedera would be breaking up above 35 cents. As you guys do see that is some major resistance. We have not been, above those levels since, November. So I would love to see us break over 35 cents eventually, but I think that this market's going to take some time to recover fully. And I think that when we're talking about the market structure currently, it is more so a spotlight on Bitcoin. We're waiting for Bitcoin to make its next major move. So altcoins are not really moving at all right now. So, if your altcoin, aka Hbar, is not moving, do not get frustrated. Do not get impatient. Trust me, nothing else in this market really is moving. On the 24-hour span, you guys do see some altcoins up like 8% and stuff, but these are very minimalistic, views. These are also very minimalistic percentages as well. Like, there is some altcoins that are doing good, but for the most part, a wide majority of the market is still sitting stable or in negative. So, with that being said, let's talk about some exciting things. So, first off, I tweeted out saying, mass adoption for Hbar is starting. And I think that a lot of individuals took that as, more so of a, in-depth sort of tweet saying, where's the news? Like, what's going on? And it's more so this, okay? So shout out to Zepsi for this. He's saying, so on Hbar, we've got OVO HQ, this is Outlier Ventures. Now, a lot of these are accelerating like Open Metaverse Base Camps, Web3 Accelerator, and Ascent program, enabling all convergence of tech, culture, and finance. A lot of these are investment opportunities. These are, companies that are investing into this area, especially for Hedera. We also have Hbar Starter, which is doing incredible things in terms of launch pads. We also, have Headstarter.org, the launch pad of the Hedera Hashgraph ecosystem. Then, of course, we have the Hbar Foundation with a 500 million inflow of 2022, Hedera 2022 marketing budget of $11.6 million, and now Hashgraph Capital seeking to raise $20 million as well. And here you guys have that, Hashgraph. I actually have it open here. Hashgraph Capital is a venture capital firm investing in startup companies building valuable tech solutions within the Hedera Hashgraph ecosystem. We are seeking to raise $20 million for Hashgraph Capital Fund 1 from institutional and accredited investors. Hedera Hashgraph is, of course, the third generation, blah, blah, blah. We already know that information, but overall, this is what I'm talking about. We have a lot of money flowing into Hedera to really kind of build out more and more of this ecosystem, and this is all going to lead to mass adoption. You got to realize that we are still very early in this, ecosystem. Also, Hedera Starter actually just released this video. This is really kind of giving us an in-depth view of this UI as well as the solution. Looks very clean, looks very good. I know it's a little bit rough on the computer. If you guys do want to go look at this, you guys can go check them out on, of course, Twitter. But I think that this UI looks great. I think it looks incredible as well. Very easy to use, very simple. I love it. It's clean. Good job for those individuals out there who have built this and developed it, basically. You guys are doing incredible work over at Hedera Starter. Now, I also want to talk to you guys about this tweet coming from Hbar to the moon, more so of a quote from the CEO and co-founder of Hashpack. So we do see here, every week I have calls with 2 to 3 new projects that I've never heard of looking to build on or adopt Hedera. These are real companies with real products looking to interface with Hashpack app to take advantage of what Hedera is building. Please buckle up your seatbelts. And we do see here, Hedera is just getting started. We only know about, a very few projects publicly, but there are magnitudes more building in stealth. Hbar adoption will see exponential growth this year, and I do completely agree with him on this. Honestly, when we have been seeing a lot of stuff, coming out lately within the Hedera ecosystem, it's projects that have been building for, a very long time that have not come to the public until now. I mean, you got to realize that there's a lot of NDAs in place and things like that that we do not know about, that are also building out, trillion-dollar use cases and stuff like that. MTech being one of the main giants that are in the spotlighted area, you got to pay attention to what they are doing. And also, like I said, with Microsoft, so this is actually quoting this Microsoft tweet from yesterday. I'm not going to include this tweet because I just talked about it yesterday, but, connecting the dots here with Microsoft and even Accenture, also with Interwork Alliance, we look at Project Guardian, okay? And when we're talking about a lot of this stuff, like, you got to realize the names that are also working with Hedera. They might not be GC members. They might not be announced fully, but when we're talking about Microsoft, okay, I strongly believe that at some point in time, we will see Microsoft on the GC. Okay, there's just way too many connections with Microsoft to Hedera. When we're talking about Accenture, we know Accenture is a huge giant in the fintech area, working with, names like XRP. They also have connections to, XDC, even XLM. I really do think that a lot of individuals need to start paying attention to the things that are happening behind the scenes. Honestly, I pay attention to Microsoft all day long because when we are talking about a lot of the things that they are actually building, I think a lot of that actually stems back to Hedera. So I'm definitely paying attention to the connections with Microsoft continuing to flourish, as I would if I was you guys as well, especially if you do hold, Hbar, definitely pay attention to that. But I also want to talk to you guys about some other things as well, and that is the development fund behind Hbar. So obviously, the Hbar Foundation has a development fund that is 2,790% larger than average in descending order. Here you guys have it. So first off, $5 billion is something that should not be disregarded at all. I mean, talking about some of these major, assets here, like, first off, look at some of these names. Like, ADA is sitting at number 8, Solana, 9, Avalanche, 10. I mean, just look at some of these. Polygon, 16. And look at the development fund for some of these projects. I mean, you're looking at 300 million, 220 million, 180, 160, 150, 100, 100, and Hbar sitting at the top. You got to think about the perspective here on what is this money going to? Like, where is this money actually going to, be used? It's the idea of ecosystemal growth. I've always addressed the idea that you need to realize what they are trying to build here. They have a ton of capital to build out solid use cases, trillion-dollar plus use cases that are going to, of course, lead to mass adoption of the network. I'm here for it. I'm paying attention. I really do hope that all of you individuals are also paying attention, because when we are looking at things like this tweet from Solo Cisse, and I'm actually going to shout him out for this because this was incredible. I read it and I reflect it so well with this tweet because this is basically what I tried to tell you guys about every single day. Got a lot of doubters over my recent, tweets on why Hbar invariably the future of DLT. So is invariably the future of DLT. So here's a quick to publicly address. This is a thread, by the way. To who are less enlightened. And of course, here's a tweet. Hbar at 22 cents is ridiculous. Honestly, Hbar at anything under, we don't even know the true value of Hbar. Like, in my opinion, I think that it's well worth $10 plus. But of course, yeah, I think that it's ridiculous at these prices. But we do see here the most important part of any investment is understanding both your personal and the asset's time horizon. We are in the super early days of Hbar, so understand that prices will fluctuate along the way. But make sure you understand this is a long-term infrastructure trade. And it truly is. Like, you guys have to realize how early we actually are in, of course, Hbar. We do see here, Hbar does not, equal any of these meme coins out here. Similar to the last tweet, Hbar is, a utility, so expecting its price to move like Doge is unfounded. One Hbar will always equal one Hbar. If you're looking for a short-term trade, go back to point 1 and realize Hbar ain't that. The entire market is down. Sure, there are a few coins that have popped here and there, but for the most part, most coins have followed the lead of the bear market. Be frustrated at 22 cents, but remember, we were just at 56 cents not too long ago. Be patient. Value beats hype. Rational investors care about making money first and foremost. So best believe if Lehman Baird were to say, anything that led me to believe Hbar wasn't the future, best believe I'd jump ship. But for now, that man has been singing the gospel. Value beats hype part 2. If you wish to generate alpha in short term, then buy some hyped projects. Honestly, I own some of those too, but also recognize the game, you're playing is fundamentally different. You can never go, wrong buying value, i.e. Hbar. Hype equals gambling. And this is why I talk to you guys about a lot of these utility gems. It's not the idea that, hey, we're going to get rich off of these assets, because trust me, I think that we definitely will. Long term, you got to think about it. And a lot of individuals are probably going to say in the comments, but what is the long term? What is the long term viewpoint here? Honestly, by 2025, I think that Hbar is going to look extremely different. Not only from a price perspective, but also from an ecosystem perspective. You also have to realize the fact that when we are talking about Hbar, you got to think about it in the most logical sense. This is probably one of the most legitimate projects that have ever touched, crypto. And I kind of put it next to the likes of, XRP, because, a lot of individuals hate on XRP. They don't like XRP. It hasn't hit an all-time high in 4 years. It's continuing to branch out and build these massive, partnerships in terms of what Ripple is doing. And it's a similar boat for Hbar. Hedera is absolutely killing the game with partnerships, innovations, development. And here we still are sitting at 20 cents when, we've been sitting at 20 cents for what seems like forever. Technically, these are prices going all the way back to March of 2021, a whole year ago. And we're still sitting at these prices. So, obviously, are we in the best boat possible for price action? Absolutely not. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, Hbar's price action looks great. It looks incredible. Absolutely not. But the fundamentals look absolutely astonishing compared to everything else. We've discussed ADA. I've talked to you guys about Cardano and how they basically have zero infrastructure to their project. I've discussed a lot of these other projects like Solana that have its own inefficiencies. I've talked to you guys about Dogecoin, Shiba, stuff like that have truly no value behind them besides speculation and hype. And the same goes for, Hbar, right? Yeah, sure. Is the price action garbage? 100%. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I've made $1 million off of Hbar, so I'm happy. No, absolutely not. But I will say this, in terms of, Hbar and what Hedera is building, at least they're giving us solid updates. They're giving us solid fundamental updates that are, proving their journey to become the third generation crypto technology. And also, when we're talking about that, look at the GC members. Okay, when we're looking at the GC members, these are companies that are seeing the true vision. And same with Solo, when he does say, Lehman Baird has been talking about it. And honestly, with the things that Lehman Baird has been talking about in terms of, Hbar's, true use case value and Hedera's true vision, I'm sold, okay? I'm sold. I can hold HBAR for another 3 years if I have to truly see the value unlocked, but I think that HBAR is probably one of the most incredible investments to have ever touched crypto. Does it move as fast as other altcoins? Absolutely not. But hey, I'm here. I'm diversified. I always say, diversify, don't get married to your bags. And I'm sitting pretty with my HBAR bag. I'm sitting here waiting for, of course, the ecosystem to continue to grow, and I'm waiting for the next major price action move. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.